You're listening to Life Story at Reclamation Welch. If we're going to live reclaimed lives for the glory of Jesus, it's important that we learn to share and celebrate what God's doing in each other's lives. Each week during service, we'll take a few minutes to hear someone's life story, or the mission God's called them to, or a particular way to grow in personal maturity as we live out our faith. Thanks for sharing, thanks for listening, and lean in for another reclaimed life story.
This is Randall Rowe, and he is going to share with us a little bit about his life story.
I am Randall. I am as far as work, I work at the post office here in Welch, and I am a young life leader. I'm trying to think of all the hats that's kind of like hanging up at the house right now.
You better not forget husband and father.
I am a husband. Start with that, I guess.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I am a father. I got a toddler running around here somewhere. He's probably hiding in the back because he does not like to leave my side. Let's see. Post office, husband, young life leader. I work here at the church, one of the elders, and did I miss anything?
No, I think you got it, man. That was pretty thorough. Good work. So you are all these different hats you wear, and one of them is follower of Christ. And I'm wondering, how did your relationship with Jesus begin? What's your story surrounding that?
I will say that all of those I try to make follower of Christ, not to kind of put you on the spot or nothing, but it's kind of like a mission mindset that I've just kind of, I guess God has led me into here lately, and it's just like everything you do is a mission for Christ. If I'm at the post office, that is a mission. And how that all got started, I was pretty much, I want to say born in the church, just because that's how my childhood looked like. It was just like always church, and for me, it was looked more legalistic. It was just like you got to go to church, and I don't think my family intended it to be that way. But as a young believer or young person in the church, you think concrete a lot of times, and it's just like, okay, this is what it means to be a Christian. You go to church, you have to go to church, you have to go every night, and then even bringing that into my teenage years, it just looked more legalistic. And honestly, I would say even my teenage years, I probably wasn't even a follower of Christ. So my life was just very legalistic. It looked a lot like me stumbling through life and just very down on myself because I couldn't hit that target of perfection. With legalism comes perfection, and it's just like you just cannot do it. So that drives you into other things, other addictions, other things that's out there in this world, and just constantly just wanting something to fill that emptiness, because legalistic Christianity doesn't do that, or any kind of legalistic religion doesn't do that.
It's real easy to get caught up in attempting to follow rules and thinking that we're made right or have a relationship with God through that. And what you said made me think of the Psalm 139 we just read, that how he knows our words before we speak them, and he knows all the days of our lives. And later on in the Psalm, we can't hide from him. And that can either be comforting or terrifying, and a little bit of both, depending on where you're at with God. But I'm glad to hear that. How did that change for you, going from legalism to...
I think for me, it's just a matter of just finding a good community of people that knew grace, that was able to show grace, show forgiveness, just finding that community of believers that really just got in tune with God and would also hold you accountable. Now, with the people that I have in my community, I feel like if I was doing something stupid, that one of them would say, hey, that's stupid, don't do that. So just really being accountable, and just knowing that accountability is not legalistic, but it's mercy, it's grace together. And really just, I think what really got me on that path was just seeing people's lives changed around me and knowing, hey, I want to be a part of that. And you're in the church, you're around the church, and then you see it, and you're just like, I got to be a part of that. And just, I was actually traveling for my job for a while, and I was stationed in Roanoke for months, and it was just like God just said, there's something that's drawing me back home, and it's just like, you've got to go. And ever since I came off the road, stopped traveling for the job, left Roanoke and came back here and said, I want to be in McDowell County. It's just like God just opened up doors, and my life perspective started to change, and I started to realize after, I've worked with teenagers and youth for years, and it's just like something started to click. It's the grace, the mercy, the wholeness of who God is.
Very good. Man, you said lots of good stuff there. I don't even know really where to jump in. Don't feel like I have to. But, how's God working in your life right now, present moment? Is it just a continuation of that, or?
I would say yes, a little bit of a continuation, and also a little bit of learning to step back a little bit. Sometimes it's easy when you start leading, whether it's my role at the post office has been a leader and been up front. My role at Young Life on this side of the county has also usually been a leader and been up front. And even here at the church, it's like you end up being up front all the time, and it becomes natural. But sometimes the unnatural part is stepping back and saying, you know what, this is not about me as a leader. This is about Jesus as a leader. But just being able to step back, even try to, at work, I've been on this mission for at least the last 4 or 5 months of just training people. So if I'm out of my job, I want that job to go on just like I'm not even there. And the same thing with even Young Life or wherever I'm at. It's just like I don't want to be the person that leaves and everything falls apart. It's quite the opposite. So just being a good leader and just being mission-minded in everything I do.
I like that. That's good stuff. How can we be praying for you? Because you do wear lots of hats and you got a lot of stuff going on. How can we pray for you and your family?
As far as prayer, just pray that in all of those hats, whether I put this hat on or the next hat on, I always think about Colossians 3, or even I think it's Corinthians. It's just like we are to model Christ. Everything we do should represent Christ. It should. If we're out at the post office working and somebody comes in going crazy, and it's happened a few times, you should even in those hard moments, they should be able to see Christ in you. And even with dealing with teenagers, Young Life, whatever that may look like, it's just like Corinthians. We are ambassadors. We're representatives of Christ. So my prayer, and I pray this all the time, is that whether it's people at work, whether it's students, or whether it's the staff or faculty at Mountain View High School, that they just see Jesus. If they see me, they see a mess, but if they see Jesus, they see something that's going to want their attention.